natural sugar is not bad for you because it has, the controversy is like fruit has sugar. Well, but fruit has natural sugar that also contains vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and fiber. It also reduces the glucose spike that you can get from having the sugar. So your glucose is a little bit more naturally regulated. It's all absorbed, all the vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and fiber are absorbed and put to use for energy, so that you want to have that glucose because glucose turns to energy. So when it's consumed in its most natural form, it also gives you fiber. And then the fiber is what makes you feel full and satisfied. Okay, so that's the natural fruit. So added sugar, of course, is anything that is not in its natural form. Soda, flour-based desserts usually have added sugar, like cakes and cookies. And also sauces like barbecue sauce. If you guys start paying attention to the ingredients on the back of your sauce labels and dressings, you'd be surprised at how much sugar is actually in there. Sugar naturally has high calories and no nutritional value. So it's usually consumed in excess because, I know you guys all know this, but sugar is addicting, and it's also as addicting as drugs, okay? And it also, you consume more of it because it doesn't contain, fiber and all the ingredients that make you feel full. So now you're doing two things. You're eating sugar because it's addicting and you're not feeling full. So you just keep eating it because you're like, oh, that feels good. Raises all the dopamine. And then you have obviously this high fructose corn syrup. And just so you guys know, anything that ends in an TOSE or OSE is also a sugar. So don't be fooled. That's how they get around adding sugar. So, there's a lot of health risks that come with added sugar. So it can even be, the chemically processed sugar. It can be, all the white sugar that you get. It can be anything that ends in a TOSE or OSE. Those are all sugars, okay? So you have, just before you even peak going into Alzheimer's disease, you also are damaging your memory. That's the first thing. That is like the most common thing that sugar does to you. It gives you the brain fog and so forth because your brain is actually swelling from the inflammation that sugar is giving you. So if you have brain fog, then you might want to start looking at some of the sugar in the sugar in the ingredients you might not even be aware of. Like I said, the sauces and the dressings and so forth. So even though you're avoiding soda and you're avoiding cakes and cookies, you might be getting in other forms that you may not even be aware of. So just become really savvy on that. Also, another health risk is cardiovascular disease. Another no-brainer, type 2 diabetes, vitamin deficiencies and malnourishment, especially in kids, because their brains are developing, their bodies are developing. Obviously, about, you go to the dentist with your kids or even yourself, cavities and dental issues. It also increases your risk of asthma and asthma attacks. Obviously, sugar, it increases obesity. Another thing is, we've talked about this, it disrupts your gut microbiome and it impairs the immunity. It messes up your stomach acids, and so your digestion is now compromised. It increases inflammation and also hormone disruption. So those are one of the, those are pretty serious health risks from sugar, right? Okay, let's talk about now the health risks of diet soda. I had to add this one in because I know that when I talk about sugar, this one comes up because they're like, well, I'm not eating sugar. I had this go around with my mother because she drinks a lot of sugar, like Diet Coke, and my dad drinks Diet Coke. They drink it every night with like rum and caffeine-free Diet Coke. And I had to explain them, yes, okay, so great. They came up with a way to get rid of all the calories out of diet soda to make you think that you're drinking something that's better for you. So yes, you're not getting any of the calories that you'd be getting from drinking a soda. I think a soda has like 150 calories. Liquid calories is what it is. But what it is, it's now chemicals that are added in that don't have any calories, but it's a chemical. It's a synthetic chemical that you're putting into your body, right? So now people who drink diet soda have more serious health issues. So the sweetener is actually a chemically processed ingredient. So now what this does, once you drink it, it damages your blood vessels and causes serious inflammation. Also, the brain responds to these chemicals faster, causing a huge spike in dopamine, making it more addictive. Then you crave more sweets because you're addicted to sweetness now. So you're craving more sweets because of the dopamine effect in your brain. So you tend to eat more donuts, cakes, cookies, ice cream, whatever it is. Also, the chemicals cause high blood pressure. So if you have high blood pressure, you should not be drinking diet soda. The chemicals, like sugar, causes liver problems that are also like fatty liver disease that is not a non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. So some people might say, I have fatty liver disease, but I don't drink. Now you maybe need to look at your diet soda or sweetener, look at the TOSE, all those ingredients that are in sugary things. Also, diet sodas or anything that's artificially sweetened is triple the risk of stroke and Alzheimer's disease. So another reason to stay away from diet. Now, I know that also the sodas contain a dye in them. So now you're consuming the chemicals from either the sugar from the diet, from the regular soda, or the artificial sweetener from the diet. Did I say that right? Sugar from regular, the artificial from the diet. So now you're consuming dye along with all of those ingredients and carbonation. Now the carbonation is okay here and there, like if you're drinking like seltzer water, sparkling water, whatever, but you shouldn't drink too much because what it does is it damages the acids that you have in your stomach. So here and there, carbonation is okay. Every day, you're basically killing all of the acids and your digestion is completely compromised. So that is natural sugar versus artificial sugar or sugar just in general. So we wanted to narrow that down. So now I'm going to go through the process of what happens when you consume soda. And I'm using soda as an example, but this is just because soda has so much sugar in it, on the back of the ingredient. 1 teaspoon of sugar is equal to 4 grams of added sugar on the back of a label. So this, for example, is 33 grams. So what is that like? 33, almost 8.5 teaspoons of sugar just in this can of soda. So I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to save that for next week. We're going to do a demo on that. Soda, Coca-Cola, has 17 teaspoons of sugar. 17. Okay, so let that sink in for a minute. If you figure in a can of soda, 17. So keep that thought in mind. In addition, it has dye and it's carbonated and it has caffeine, a synthetic caffeine. The caffeine in your soda is from a synthetic processing plant out of China. It is not even caffeine from a coffee or tea. It's not extract. It's a chemically processed caffeine, okay? So all of those artificial things plus sugar is what's in a can of soda. So that's why soda is a perfect example for what happens when you drink a soda for this demonstration, for this. So in the first 10 minutes, 10 teaspoons, yes, drink the smart water. You're very smart. If I can convince you guys all not to have soda right now, I did my job. So within the first 10 minutes, 10 teaspoons of that immediately hit your system. 10 teaspoons is more than 100% of your daily recommendation. So you don't immediately like vomit or whatever, the acids or whatever, because it's basically your stomach acids are allowing to keep it down. Because if you were to take 17 to 10 teaspoons of sugar, mix it in water and drink it, you probably would throw up. So you have these stomach acids that work with all of these ingredients that Coca-Cola or whoever got very savvy about allowing you to keep it down. Then in 20 minutes, your blood sugar levels spike and it causes an insulin burst. What happens now is that your liver responds to this by taking any of the sugar in, and then what does it do? It turns it into fat, okay? That's within 20 minutes. And then in 40 minutes, all the caffeine has been completely absorbed. So at this point, you've got all of the sugar being turned into fat. You've got the caffeine being absorbed. So your pupils dilate, your blood sugar and your blood pressure rises. As a response, your liver dumps more sugar into your bloodstream, anything that's left over after the 10 teaspoons that it's already absorbed. And now your brain is blocked with all this inflammation, preventing all the brain fog and the drowsiness, and that all starts to sit in. Now, 45 minutes in, your body has upped its dopamine production, stimulating the pleasure centers of the brain. This is where the addiction is now coming in. Okay, it's physically the same thing that happens when you do heroin or cocaine. Scary. Now, 60 minutes in, this is at that 60 minutes, the acid binds up the calcium, magnesium, and zinc, and it binds it and puts it into your lower intestine. Now, don't forget, your lower intestine is what absorbs all the fiber that you've eaten through the day, right? Which you need to survive and live and feel full and so forth. But now it's being compromised with the binding of calcium, magnesium, and zinc, which was supposed to be absorbed in through your stomach, okay? So now all of this does is it goes down through and it goes into your urinary tract, and it's excreting all of these vitamins and zinc and everything else that was supposed to be absorbed into your body is now being urinated out. So if you could eat healthy all day long and you have all these nutrients in your body doing what it's supposed to do, and then you drink a soda with your meal, it's basically taking it, flushing it right out. So it's gone. Then after 60 minutes, then you have to go to the bathroom, and basically everything that was headed into your bones for sodium and zinc and the magnesium and everything that you need to grow is now gone. Okay. So that is what happens through the process of having just a soda with your meal.